Hi, I'm Dom Parrish. I go by Dom. I wrestle 53 kilos and I am a 2024 Olympian and I'm going to Paris. So I'm from California and they have always, as long as I've been wrestling, had women's sanctioned sports and women's sanctioned wrestling, which I feel like right now, a lot of girls are getting to experience. But I started wrestling in middle school. They had a wrestling demo in PE, in the PE class, and they just unrolled the mats and we got to try it out. And my friends signed me up. They wrote my number and email down on the clipboard, and I thought I was gonna get in trouble if I didn't go. So I went and I loved it. I was on a team with a bunch of girls and it was fun. We were all friends. And then my dad, he had wrestled a bit in high school and college. My dad was hyped that I wanted to wrestle. He tried to get me into it when I was younger. My sister used to beat me up and hold me down and spit on my face. And I remember when I was a kid, she went and did just a random county tournament, and I saw her getting pinned, and I was like, she holds me down and spits on my face. This doesn't look good for me. So I wasn't really interested. But as soon as I expressed interest, he took me to the store and bought me all the gear. So I just really had unlimited support, which is awesome. A lot of people have had experiences where they're young girls or women and they're not welcome in a room. And for me, my initial experience with wrestling was welcoming. Every girl's dream in this sport is to go out and represent Team USA and do it to the best of your ability and just be a good role model for other kids coming up in the sport, like boys and girls. And wrestling's one of those things that I've just kind of done for so long, and I feel each stage I was so focused on being in that stage. I feel in middle school I was well, I'm wrestling, and I wrestled with my friends, and it was a very social thing. And in high school I feel I was I want to be a state champion, and when I went to college I was I want to be a national champion, and then started making senior national teams, and I was man, I want to be on the world team. Made the world team, and I was I want to be a world champion. And this year made the Olympic team, and I'm I want to be an Olympic champion. If I'm gonna go to the Olympics, I better qualify this spot. I think that'll just give me a lot of confidence, and it sets you up so well in Olympic trials. So all those things in play, going into Acapulco, I was I need to perform here, and was definitely starting to feel the pressure. And I was talking with my therapist quite a bit. He was just focus on being in the moment. And he said something that really stuck with me. And he's focus doesn't know pressure. So he's just focus on what you're doing at the given second, or as specific as you need to be, and be present, and you're not going to feel that pressure. And going in, that's what I was trying to do, match by match, move by move, warm up, weigh in, all that stuff, just be totally in the moment. And I feel I had some crazy interviews after where they're I was I'm in the zone. And that's just, I feel the best feeling when you're so present in your body. And again, it's the Olympics, it's stressful. This last push, I'm really excited to dial in and just be on my mental health and strength and conditioning, wrestling, recovery, just put all the pieces together. And I feel as I've gotten older, it's almost become a bigger aspect of my training situation, almost as much as strength and conditioning, just making sure I'm in the right mind space. Because I think you talk to any of the women on this national team, we're all dealing with stuff. Even if it's not wrestling related, it's really difficult sometimes to compartmentalize when you're coming in, because this is our work, right? And I feel if stuff from the outside that you're not addressing is leaching in, it can make practices not great. I think just being in a drama-free practice environment was really helpful for me. I'm at the Beaver Dam at Oregon State, and I mean, moving's difficult, but I definitely think I made the right choice. And Nate Angle is the best. He's awesome. He's so supportive. I've had personal coaches before, and they've all been great for the most part. Really liked working with Pritz in Arizona. I feel Nate is so cool. He is really good at giving what I would call a compliment sandwich, where he's that was great. Work on this part in the middle, and then he's but you're awesome. And so I feel even as he's giving you something to focus on or adjust, you're not oh my God, I suck at wrestling. But all the women at the RTC, I feel are experienced, and it's good energy and we all go in and work hard, and leading into Olympic trials and into the Olympics, I think that's what I needed. I just needed good vibes. I guess whenever anyone asks me like, how do you make those jumps, like I wasn't placing at international tournaments and then started placing and then eventually won gold. My biggest, I think, thing that I tell people is to look for rooms where people are going to beat the crap out of you and you're not going to be the best in the room, and it really gives you the opportunity to either sink or swim. And either you're gonna get tired of getting the crap beat out of you and quit or move somewhere else, or you're gonna rise to the occasion. And it gives you, I feel like, very specific measurable goals. Like, oh, maybe I got taken down like 2,000 times this last week, but next week I'm like, hopefully it's only, like 1,500. Or like eventually you're getting takedowns on people that were teching you like in the first period or like in a 1 minute go. But you just gotta like ride through it, unfortunately. Going into the last Olympic trials, it was COVID. I was training in Vancouver, and they were very strict at that point about like what you could do. Like, we definitely weren't supposed to be wrestling. We were training in a boxing gym, like with cardboard taped over the windows. So I had like good partners, but like I didn't have like a personal coach. My dad coached me, which I mean is awesome, but it's so different now. I feel very fortunate that I got to sit out till the next day. That is huge. Last Olympic cycles I didn't do that, and you kind of have to run through the gauntlet, which if you make it out, I feel like you feel so accomplished. But it was nice to weigh in, and I feel like it's easy to overthink after you weigh in. You're like, how much should I rehydrate? I feel like you could second guess yourself, but like having a plan and being like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go rest, I'm gonna drink this much water, I'm gonna go work out at this time. Or like having a personal coach who really is gonna like help you like step by step, like you have this plan, and Nate's like so supportive and so helpful, and he's just like, whatever you need, like I got you. I feel like it really took all that pressure like off my mind. And then I don't know if I expected myself to win last Olympics. I feel like I sat down before that and was like, oh, like maybe I could win it. I feel like I was like, I'm going to a tournament and like, we'll see how it goes. And going into this tournament, I was like, I like fully plan to win this Olympic trials and go to the Olympics. But so yeah, like weighed in and got a good warm up in. I feel like push the pace in the warm up so I can like get the first match out. But I don't know, it felt so surreal to win the first match and then go and take a break and come back and again like winning the second match. I feel like right after that match I was like, I can't believe just what happened. And I was talking with Sarah and her brother in Poland, and they're like, you're so funny, like after you win you're just kind of like, and then I've like seen pictures of me and I feel like in my mind my face is like more expressive, and like in these interviews I feel like I'm like pretty expressive, and then I see a picture I'm just like I feel like every time I've had like a huge personal achievement, as soon as I reach it, I'm like, I don't feel like this is real. I'm like, this feels so like foreign to me, because like you've achieved like your biggest like accomplishment yet, and then you're like, but there's so much work to do still. So I feel like I was kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe I just made the Olympic team, but now got to prep for going to the Olympics, which is like so exciting.
How excited are you for the opening ceremonies?
Just taking in that. I feel like I was excited, and then everyone was like, oh, it's gonna be like 15, 20, 24 hours, 48 hours on a boat. And I was like, oh, well, I'm like, hopefully it's good, but I think it'll be a really cool experience. It'll be nice to get all our swag, because I feel like any stage in wrestling, I'm like, oh, it would be so cool to like school swag or like making the national team. I'm like, it'd be cool to have national team swag, and now I'm gonna get that Olympic team swag. I feel like we have a really cool group of ladies, and I had a poster in my room that had like Veronica Carlson on it and Helen Maroulis, Alyssa Lampy. I think again, Helen's like the best to ever do it. The person that like I looked at like literally on my wall, like we're teammates and we're friends now, and so it's nice to be friends with her and get to pick her brain. Again, like everyone's so decorated in this group. I don't think there's anyone where you're like, I don't know how they're gonna do. But again, everyone, I feel like at this point is a professional, so you can really like go into practice and kind of see like, oh, like what are they working on, and like, or go and ask them to like help you with something. And so it really brings everyone together, and we're a team, real powerhouse. We're looking to bring home some medals. I mean, Japan's tough, and I feel like if you look at their system, it's almost ridiculous how like the younger girls cycle and like take out like Olympic champs like 1 year after the Olympics. But I think the thing that Team USA has is like we have all these personal coaches who come in and are like working like specifically to find techniques and weaknesses to like beat like these Japanese girls. And I definitely think we can do it. It's gonna be tough, but that's wrestling and it's fun. This is the absolute culmination of my career. I, again, like in talking with you guys, like I don't think I ever as a child thought that I would be an Olympian, but here I am and getting to do it for like the best country on earth. And like when I am wrestling my best, and I think my coaches have said this too, like my pace is high and I'm not scared to try things. So I think just going out there and wrestling like my match. Again, I think it's so easy to go out there and freeze and be like, I don't want to make a mistake, but I'm an offensive wrestler and I want to take some girls down. I want to take some girls down and turn them because I've been working so hard on finishes. I'm so excited to go out there and be me. And for me, I just want to be the dominant wrestler.